Netflix is out and Paramount is back in to take over Warner Brothers. But is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Is it even actually going to happen? Let's talk about it. So recently, Netflix was contracted, they still are technically contracted to purchase Warner Brothers, but Paramount has now finally hit the right number to basically get Warner Brothers to be like, okay, fine, we'll go to you, because Paramount put in, I think, 8 bids before this one, basically being like, hey, we'll give you a little bit more money. That's not good enough. Okay, here's more money. Where Netflix was actually offering like cold hard cash, and that's kind of why they were going with Netflix, because Warner Brothers has a lot of debt, and this is Netflix. Hey, look, we will give you this much money in cold hard cash. And then you had Paramount going, hey, we'll give you a lot less in cold hard cash and then a bunch more in money that we don't actually have. And they're like, hey, we're going to give you some cash, but the rest of it is money that we're borrowing. So it's good to you, but bad for us, for a company that's already in debt. And that's where the problem is. But that is a problem on the back end, which may cause other issues. Like, I don't think they will cancel Harry Potter. They may cut the budget, but Harry Potter in itself is going to be a moneymaker. That's probably why they're going after it. Harry Potter, DC are the two moneymakers, which is the two big platforms that they're probably going to take. Game of Thrones. What Paramount wants is to get rid of HBO Max. So then you'll have Paramount Plus, no HBO Max. It's all one streaming service, and all of the legacy content is going to be put onto Paramount, because that's what Paramount wants. They don't want to have to spend money to make content unless they already have content made for that. One of the big things that's going on right now is Doctor Who. For those of us who are Doctor Who fans in America, we know it is a hard time to be a Doctor Who fan, just because it's like, all right, well, it's on Disney. We can't watch any of Classic Who unless you get BritBox. Actually, you can. I don't know if a lot of people know about it, but you can watch it on YouTube. Here, there is a Classic Doctor Who channel that posts almost once to twice a week full serials of classic Doctor Who. It's not in order. It is not consistent. It just kind of bounces around between doctors and just puts shows on. But we are starting to be able to watch classic Doctor Who on YouTube, which there is a rumor that they're going to make a new Who YouTube channel, which is going to have the reboot on there, or they're just going to make the classic Doctor Who TV or something like that, and put all of Doctor Who on there. So we may be getting that. But Paramount apparently also gave an offer to BBC for Doctor Who, but the thing is they wanted the entire catalog and standalone rights to be able to air it. So even in UK, they wanted worldwide streaming rights, and it kind of shows what they may be wanting HBO for. Warner Brothers is, hey, you have this huge back catalog that we can put onto our streaming service, which would get people to come and watch these movies. Harry Potter is a big moneymaker. Game of Thrones is a big moneymaker. I'm sure there are a ton of people who only had HBO subscriptions because they were watching Game of Thrones. Paramount's like, hey, we're going to get those subscriptions, and then people are going to forget to cancel them, and then we'll get money for no reason. And it's like, this, for a normal person, this probably doesn't look bad, because it's like, well, I don't want to pay for 2 streaming services. I just want to pay for one and get all my shows. So if I can sit down and have Paramount Plus and be able to watch my Survivor and watch my Game of Thrones and watch my Harry Potter, that's what I want. But that's not really what we want. Monopolies are a thing, and as much as litigation and everything has tried to stop them from happening, we are back in a monopoly era. Anyway, off the economics soapbox, onto why it's bad for Paramount to buy Warner Brothers. When Warner Brothers merged with Discovery and became Warner Discovery and AT&T, it was just a whole big collection of things, is they canceled a ton of projects that were almost done or done. We have Coyote versus Acme and Supergirl, which were 2 movies that were basically done, that they were just like, nope, just put those on the shelf. We're going to count them as loss. They weren't going to make any money. I wish they'd done that to the Flash movie. As a Flash fan, I was greatly offended. But they did that so they could say, look, all this money that we spent, we're not getting back. We'll just let it go away. So Paramount could inevitably buy Warner Brothers and do the same thing, is just go, oh, you know what? We don't like you. We don't like you. We don't like you. You're all cut. We'll sell you for scraps. They may liquidate the entire studio and broadcast system. Just completely gut it, take it for parts, and be like, hey, look, we have all of the licenses and we're going to keep what we want and throw away the rest, which is probably what's going to happen. Is that good? No. This is the problem with not having physical media, is because, you know, if you have the 50 seasons of Love It or List It, you can watch it whenever. But when Paramount buys Warner Brothers and they go, you know what? We're just going to get rid of Love It or List It, all seasons of it, and just pretend that it got lost in the merger. And, you know, we're just going to delete it, put it on a shelf somewhere, and nobody's ever going to see it again. And it's like, oh, but I like that show. That's what's going to happen. It's shows that don't make a lot of money are going to disappear, to never be seen again. Shows that may make the company more money. We will probably see the budget may be lowered, so the quality may be lowered, and they'll just put out garbage content to try to make money, which a lot of people already think that is what Warner Brothers is doing, is going to be putting out garbage content to try to make that quick buck. But I think that based on the contract, the fact that they put a 10-year contract in for 7 seasons of all the books, I don't think they were going to half-ass it. Now, when it goes over to Paramount, Paramount's not obligated to that huge contract. They probably are obligated to the contract, but they are not as invested into the contract, unless there's a line in the contract like, hey, you can't just half-ass it. I doubt it, and they'd probably be able to get out of it, be like, hey, we didn't make that deal. That's not our deal. So therein lies the issue, and why you're going to hear people go, I don't want Paramount to buy Warner Brothers, because they're probably going to cut the budget of the Harry Potter series down to nothing and be like, here it is. Here's your Harry Potter content. I know it's not as good as you wanted, but you're still going to watch it, sucker. Which is what companies have been doing, and it's unfortunate. Is Paramount evil? Maybe. Is Netflix any better? Maybe not. I don't know. Netflix probably would have canceled the series or made a bunch of spinoffs and then canceled them, because that's what Netflix does. Paramount wants to build a universe. Look at Yellowstone. There's 3 shows out right now, 5 shows coming out in the next year so that means 8 shows in total in this one little universe. Look at NCIS. There's like 15 of those. Look at CSI. Like, that's what Paramount wants. They want the kind of show that they can build a universe on. So DC, Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, those are all shows that they really want. They clearly work with Mike White a lot, so White Lotus will probably be safe for those of you who like White Lotus. But those are the things that Paramount wants. The rest of it may be lost to time. Is it good? It could be. Is it bad? It could be. Could we be getting our series to the full max, quality, as well as, hey, we're getting spinoffs every season. Here's a spinoff for the Founders. Here's a spinoff for the Marauders. Here's a Snape spinoff. Here's a Tom Riddle spinoff. Here's a spinoff in America following Ilvermorny. Could we get all that? Yeah, we could. Paramount already has a precedent with Yellowstone of, hey, look, we're going to take this one character, introduce him, show him over here. NCIS, Yellowstone, we could do the idea like Yellowstone where it's like, hey, here's the current years. We're going to have Harry Potter 1890, Harry Potter 1790, and just, have something going on. They could do something like that. Would it be good? Maybe. Is it what we asked for? Yes. Will it all go under and all of us go, well, kind of saw this coming? Probably. But in this weird time of media and, government stuff, this may not even happen because they are such a big company already. Buying another big company, Paramount may be blocked from purchasing Warner Brothers, and either that or they will buy Warner Brothers and then be forced to split, like what Warner Brothers is having to do now. Because Warner Brothers is too big of a media company, they have to split, and that's why they are selling off their stuff. That's why it made more sense for Netflix to be able to purchase it, because Netflix still is not that big of a company. They own Netflix, and that's it. Where Paramount Skydance owns broadcast companies, owns channels, owns their streaming services, has a studio. It's a lot. And who knows what this means for the theme parks. I think the theme parks are safe. I think those are locked into deals that get auto-renewed, whatever. It may change. We will see. But it's all up in the air. And we may only be getting one season of the Harry Potter TV show, and hopefully it'll be good. If not, all right. Well, if it gets canceled, it's not any skin off of anybody's nose, because it's not our money that we will be losing. So that's enough of my ramblings. I will probably be able to edit this into a coherent video, but that's it. It's a mess. But hey, I do have memberships, and I do have to thank one of my newest memberships in Dumbledore's Army. That's the $5 tier. Thank you, Tori, for subscribing to that membership. And if you want to be thanked in these videos, make sure to check out the memberships, because I've got a couple tiers of memberships. If you just want to be like, hey, I like your content, I got a 99-cent tier, $1. That's all you got to give. You don't have to do it. I don't want you to do it. If you want more videos and you want to support me, that's awesome. I appreciate it. If you don't have the money to do it, I understand. Neither do I. Like and subscribe, share, comment, do all that fun stuff that's free. Leave a comment down below on, what your favorite Hogwarts character is. That's enough support for me. Anyway, stay marvelous. Make sure to watch whatever video it suggests here. It's probably something you'll like because it thinks you do. That's it for me. Stay marvelous, and Knox.